Hi everyone, my name is Ravi Prakash and welcome to Rodha. This session is on XAT 2021. Okay, and before starting it, let me tell you two things, guys. Those who are giving XAT 2021, the XAT is an exam. Actually, I've seen many people who have got 80 to 85 percentile in CAT. Okay, and they end up getting 98 plus in XAT and hence securing a call from XLRI, right? And what is XLRI? What is the quality of XLRI? Let me tell you. Let's say 5 or 7 years back, people who have done MBA or their MBA from IM A, B, C or XLRI, and if you ask me whether there's a difference in their career after 5, 7 or 10 years, there's absolutely no difference. So XLRI is as par with IM A, B and C, which many people are actually dream of, right? But XLRI is actually in that league only. Top 5 of the India you can treat XLRI, guys. Okay, such a good college which can actually change your career, right? And third very important thing is, if let's say there are two things in BM in XLRI, that is BM and HR. Okay, and BM cutoff is a bit higher, around 1.5 percentile higher than HR. But I've seen that many people who get 99% ZAT, they end up getting at least, if not BM, they end up getting HR from XLRI, and HR from XLRI, okay, is on the top 5 of the India, best in India, right, in HR, absolutely. So that quality exam it is, and actually the fourth thing here which we'll discuss is, it's actually a boon for non-QA students. Okay, those who are not good at Quant and LRDI, XLRI is a kind of boon exam for them, right? Such a good opportunity will not come again. Even if you're done bad at CAT also, this XLRI is an exam which you will cherish giving it, and it's such a life-changing exam for everyone, right? So that's what we'll discuss in this video. Okay, now I'll tell you everything about that. So let's move ahead. And before that, we have this national scholarship test for CAT. So this was basically for CAT 2021. So all those who are giving CAT 21, you can pass on this information to CAT 21 people. This NHT is happening for CAT, and this is actually, people have won more than 500 rupees for voucher in this. Okay, and it's such a good exam, this NHT. We have prepared a very good question bank for the beginners. The question is basically from a little bit beginners level to test few challenging also. Okay, challenging ones also. And actually once anyone is starting their preparation for CAT 2021 should give these tests. Okay, and just sense it actually, right, that which section they are lagging and how much effort they need to put in that section there. Okay, so that's how you should start with this. Okay, this is the NHT, and the enrollment link I'll put in the description. You can just go through that. Okay, the enrollment link I'll put in the description. You can just go through that. Okay, and click on it, and we have same analysis also. Fine. Chalo. Now let's start with our session of XLRI. Okay, how to go about it, right? Dekho. Okay, so let's just start with this exam guide. So now ZAT. Okay, now let me discuss few very point guys. This exam is actually a boon for non-QA and non-LRDI students. Absolutely right. Okay, those who are not good at Quant and LRDI, this exam is really a boon for them. Now why? Because I'll tell you, right? See, the analysis you see here, in that we have got 75 questions and we have got 165 minutes for this, right? And going by the previous pattern of that, if you try to score near about 40 marks, okay, so you near about 40 marks, so you end up getting 99 plus in that and getting a call from XLRI, right? So the cutoff for XLRI generally is around 30 to 35 marks in the previous examinations, right? In this 75 questions, okay, if you score near about 40 marks and even between 35 to 40, okay, that means it is actually you are ending up in XLRI with it, right? Now, for getting this 35 to 40 marks, right, the situation is not that, it is not that tough actually, right? Because if you see, the Quant section in this has got around 20% question from DI and has got around 80% questions from Quant if you take the average of last 4-5 years of this ZAT paper. Okay, now Now let's say there are 28 questions, right? So let's say there are 28 questions now. So in this 28 questions, we have got roughly 6 questions of DI, for example, and 22 of quant. If you see DI set, it is somewhere between CAT and lower level exam, right? So it is not that tough as it comes in CAT. Okay. So basically, if two sets will be, if there are 6 DI, so normally there are 2 sets here. Okay. So if you see this XAT 19 and 18 paper, one set is pretty manageable, right? One set is very manageable, guys. Okay. So if one set is very manageable, right? So what you need to actually think about it कि चलो अगर एक सेट मैनेजेबल है, राइट, दैट मीन्स 3 क्वेश्चंस आपने कर लिया. Once you do this 3 questions in that, now out of 22 questions in quant, even if you do around 9 to 10 questions, ठीक है, I'm taking the best also, right? 9 to 10 questions in quant if you do, and if you do 3 questions in DI, that makes it 12 to 13 questions. Okay, and that is a no hurry examination, right? You know that for doing this you can spend a lot of time in that actually, right? For example, in that we have got 165 minutes. Okay, now in this 165 minutes, how do I actually choose? First 45 minutes each for all 3 sections. Okay, and then in last 30 minutes are left. Okay, this last 30 minutes you can spend on your divide as per your convenience, right? So basically you can see that on basically only on quant section for doing 12-13 question, you have 45 plus at least 10 from here. So you can pick around 55. If quant is a weaker section, you can spend as long as 60 minutes in quant or 55 minutes in quant and try to solve around and try to get that 13 marks. Okay, so I expect a good accuracy once it comes to that paper. In 55-60 minutes you can score 13 marks. It's not that tough, guys. Okay, that basically you need to find your questions, right? And if you know quant is not good, it's for many people it's kind of a blessing in disguise. Okay, because what happens actually, out of 28 questions, you're not, if somebody's quant is not good, right? So they're not going to stuck in those tough questions and those that lengthy questions. So let's say you target only, okay, out of 28 questions, you 10 questions you don't know what are they, right? You just target 16-18 questions, and out of that you get 12-13 right. It's absolutely, you have cleared the cutoff for Excel, right? So congratulations for that, right? Now after that, once you see this quant, so basically getting this in quant is not that tough, right? Not at all tough actually. So getting 12 to 13 marks is not at all tough in not in quant. Basically one DI set is very manageable. And then if you see, obviously arithmetic questions come, arithmetic is there, algebra is there, right? So in among arithmetic, algebra and geometry, okay, if you have command over any 2 topics, if you know third topic basics and you command over any 2 topics, you can clear Excel, right? Cutoff for quant. Okay, that planning is required for quant, right? It's not a kind of a rush. That is never a rush exam actually. Okay, so and moreover you can switch sections in that, right? So that's why this will go, है ना? And basically if you see there's some peculiarity for that. They ask few questions from base system also, and they ask few questions from probability also. Two easy topics, right? Not so deep, so not so bad topics, not so deep topics. They can finish within 15-20 hours. If you study before that, you can finish this base system and probability actually, and you can secure 2 to 3 questions here if you want, right? If you don't want also, around 6 to 7 questions you can secure here. 1 or 2 question you can secure here in geometry or number system actually, right? And you can see that quite easily you are able to clear the cutoff of that 12-13 questions. Okay, if you're non-quant guy, so even if you're non-quant guy, even 10 marks will do, right? So basically I'm saying that be on higher side. So let's say target around 12 marks in quant. If you target 12 marks in quant, you're at very right, somewhere 98-99 in that in quant, right? For a non-quant guy, getting 98-99 in that is a great mark. It's great mark, right? Anna. Now after that you come to that DM section, right? Now basically if you come to DM section, so again the people who are not good at quant, so now DM actually will make some they'll have interest in that. So I've taken a lot of free classes at YouTube also. I'm taking also, and I've taken at Unacademy also, right? Now so in this DM section you can actually score easily 15 marks. You can score here in DM section, right? Because the cutoff again 8 to 9 plus 8 to 9 marks plus is a good score in DM, right? But that's what I say, right? For a non-quant guy especially, if you're a quant guy, don't worry about it, right? Because you can maximize your score in quant. But if you're a non-quant guy also, getting some 15 marks in DM is not that tough, right? Or maybe, and if you have that thing in mind, right? That okay, 15 marks is my target. Even if I end up in quant, if you end up around 12 marks, in DM if you end around 12 marks, okay, and then in VARC if you end around 12 marks. So yeah, it's almost 36, and that is higher than all last 3-4 years cutoff of XLRI. That means with this only you have cleared all the cutoffs for XLRI, right? But again, just try to get few more marks. So if let's say if you're not good at quant, so try to maximize in DM. So higher percentile means your XLRI will be further secured actually, right? So getting a call is a good thing, but try to get on higher percentile side. So even if you have not missed business management, you'll get HR for sure. And I told you Excel HR is as per with IM ABC actually, right? Okay. So 8 to 9 marks plus is a good score in DM, right? But you can score around, you can target 15 marks in DM, and you can easily do it with all the questions we are practicing, previous year questions, mocks question. You can apply and get that logic in DM, what kind of rules are asked in DM, what rules are involved there, okay, which rules are actually how should you think ethically when companies in loss, pick cost effective options, don't be biased, okay. So these are the things which we have discussed, and I think DM you can just watch my free videos on Unacademy and at YouTube, and you'll be very good at DM, right? Okay, so the DM is a part you can score 15 marks, right? And then after that it comes VRC section. So VRC section actually, that again getting that if you've worked hard at DM actually, right? So if you have worked hard at DM here, okay, then again VARC 4-5 questions of critical reasoning you can actually score. Here you can secure 4-5 marks, okay. So critical reasoning and DM is a bit in, not exactly, but in bit interconnected type of. So once you solve those tough questions of DM, you get that logic actually, right? Decision making, you get that logic, how to think, why author has written a line in passage, how to eliminate options, right? And that basically works in critical reasoning also. So 4 to 5 marks you can secure if you work hard in DM here, okay, and CR. Then 2 to 3 questions you can score from that poem, right? That poem, that set poem followed by 2 questions, very common in that, and it's a very easy after practice of 7-8 poems like that, right? You can solve those 2 questions and 1 or 2 questions from the typical fill the blanks type or vocab kind of question they ask, right? So you can see here, so you can target around 8 to 9 marks in this section. So without RC, in 12 marks you can go to XLRI, and without RC you can get 8 to 9 marks in VRC, okay. And even if you solve 1 or 2 RC after that, and their RCs is small, right? Their RCs are small, okay. It's just the thing that you have to, the options are good close, so you have to fight it out. So basically CAT, like what was like CAT 2020 on similar pattern, so that you're practicing in mocks and wherever you studied this actually, okay. So 1 or 2 RCs, and this 8 to 9 plus this will take around 15 attempts in a VA, okay. So 15 attempts in VA, 15 plus attempts and a few extra attempts, right? Just try to keep attempt on a bit higher side because गलतियां भी होती है ना. So if 15 plus attempts or even 18 attempts, you just take that attempts on higher side. So 18 attempts with 80% accuracy will do the job. Okay, will do the job for you, right? Even with 70% accuracy will do the job, guys. Okay, that's how it is. Okay, so that's, and you see that you have cleared cutoff and you have overall cutoff also you have cleared. All the sectional cleared, all the overall cutoff cleared, right? So basically a person who is not that good at quant and LRDI, that's that for you guys. Okay, not a tough exam at all, more of a like planning वाला exam है, right? इसमें बहुत सारे mocks नहीं देने होते हैं because rush exam नहीं है. You can easily switch in the sections. You can switch on this switch from English verbal to quant and like that, right? So basically that's how I say that you to attempt the paper. How should you attempt this paper, guys? So attempt the paper like this. Okay, attempt the paper like this. You can just attempt the paper like you go, for example, start with DM. If you're not comfortable with if you're I think most of the people are comfortable with DM. Okay, so start with DM. I will say in first part attempt DM, if you're not comfortable, you can go with Quant or VRC. It's your wish, right? But those who are okay with DM, try to make it further strong in the next 10-15 days and start with DM. It gives a real good advantage, right? And trust me, if you're good at DM, the 45 minutes if you spend here, okay, those 15 attempts you can easily, or 15 marks roughly you can score here in DM, right? It's a scoring section, guys. You can basically leave just one or two. Sometimes they include a very lengthy reasoning set in DM, or sometimes a very heavy quant, 2-3 tables. You just leave that set, right? Just leave that set. Okay. Don't at all think of attempting it also. Okay. So in 45 minutes, you can easily score 14 to 15 marks, and that will be a huge confidence booster, right? Because once you see that you are touching in the range of that 35 to 40 marks, that adrenaline rush will be there. Okay, you're pretty closer to accelerate cutoff. Okay, so 14 to 15 marks you can score in DM. That will be full of confidence. You'll be very confident in the other sections also, right? That's the point here. In unlike CAT, where most of the people they actually VRC actually ruined them. They just destroyed the after that they just destroyed the paper actually, because in Quant, and many people told me, sir, Quant करने का मन ही नहीं कर रहा था, VRC खराब हो गया, पहले VRC खराब हो गया, अच्छा नहीं आना, so कहीं से कॉल आएगा नहीं, so LRDA भी टफ था, Quant was easy, but Quant करने का मन ही नहीं कर रहा था Quant करने का, right? That's why, so you can start off with a section which will give you good confidence here. So DM is a good section. After that you can go to Quant. ठीक है, easily आराम से आप 45 minutes लो, ठीक है, and target around in 45 minutes, target 10 to 12 questions आराम से. देख रहा हो ना, 4 minutes per question, right? कहाँ 1.5 minute per question, and now we jump to 4 minutes per question, right? ठीक है, choose you good question, 10-12 question attempt करो, be it very good, right? And now in third attempt VRC, again spend 45 minutes in VRC, ठीक है, again try to have some 15 attempts here, okay, including that because that VA portion, fill the blanks, or that critical reasoning, or that poem RC will be very fast here, right? So in 45 minutes you can give 15 plus attempts here, okay, with 80% accuracy, 80%. So now once your 135 minutes are over, okay, so by this time you have almost 45 attempts, right? So in 135 minutes, try to have almost 45 plus attempts, okay, with almost 80% accuracy at least, right? And that you can easily do. 3 minutes when you're spending 3 to 4 minutes on a question, so I can expect as 80% accuracy from you, okay? And again, after that 30 minutes will be left, because paper is of 165 minutes. In this 30 minutes, you can just divide this section like VA or VARC or Quant or DM. You can just divide like, okay, I can go 10, or VRC, I find it tough, I can give 15 here, or maybe 5 here, or 10 here. Or you think that DM I've already done, so leave it, I can give 15 here. Okay, basically you can just divide according to your convenience, like 30 minutes, right? So hell lot of good time, guys. Okay, 165 minutes with switching the section. Be comfortable in that. Don't get panicked. There's no point getting panicked. Paper is a bit lengthy. Questions are a bit subjective type. You have to read the questions for 4-5 lines. Have that patience. Okay, and you can easily clear that paper. Okay. One more thing is here that a little bit you can take care of that minus 0.01 marks, which is for unattempted question in XAT. Okay, so basically there's again this perfect rule you will get in that instructions only. So read the instructions very carefully before XAT exam. But generally this is the rule, and I've mentioned in bulletin also that minus 0.01 mark, basically in overall paper you can leave 8 questions. So out of 75 questions, if you attempt 67 questions, okay, that means your no marks will be reduced here. Okay, that means 8 questions you can leave. But from 9th question onward, you will get minus 0.01 mark per question. Okay, so basically if you have attempted out of 75 questions, if you have attempted only 57 questions, so you have left 18 questions, right? If you have left 18 questions here, for first 8 questions, no negative marking. For next 10 questions, minus 0.01 into 10. Okay, that is minus 1. Okay, so that is not a big amount, right? Because basically this will be happening with everyone. Okay, so that's not a big amount of question, right? But one thing, a big amount of marks actually. Okay, but one thing is actually here that in my DM classes, I've observed that many people, when I take poll and all, I see that many people are stuck between sometimes 2 options A and C. So they easily eliminate B, D, and E, and they get stuck between A and C actually. Okay, because I see polling. So out of let's say 400 people, 50% are putting option A and 49% of option B, option C. So basically these two were close options, and otherwise B, D, E were eliminated, right? So actually, if you try hard and you still doesn't get that in 3-4 minutes, that which is best among A and C, so you can just mark. Okay, you can put a bit of guesswork here. It's actually good, right? Because it is actually worth, because if it is wrong, you'll get minus 0.25. Okay, so if it is wrong, you get minus 0.25, but if it is right, you get just minus, if it is right, you get obviously +1, but if you leave unattempted also, anyhow you get minus 0.01. It's a difference of just minus 0.015 marks, guys. Okay, so with two options, when you're stuck only in two options, and with just 0.15 mark difference, you can actually just go with the flow. Okay, mark anyone between A and C is probability, because if there are only two options, anyone has to be correct. So with 50% probability in a 1 mark question and 1/4 for negative, that minus 0.15 mark difference, probability tells that just go with the flow. Okay, so when you get any stuck between any time at two options, and you're sure that answer is between these two options only. Okay, in critical reasoning or DM, or it maybe in quant also, right? Just mark it. Okay, don't leave that. Okay, so that's how you can, if there are 5-6 questions, okay, so you just mark those 5-6 questions, and even if you get 2 out of 6, you get 2 right. Less than 50% probability, still you are in much winning. Still you are in winning situation, right? These things matter actually, right? In exam like XAT, where every is a low scoring mark. Okay, low scoring exam, low scoring cutoff, every mark is like a gold dust. Okay, so once you get 1 or 2 extra marks, it's actually just takes up your percentile to a higher level. Okay, that's the point about these guys. Okay, so basically this is that, right? So now again, let me just summarize for you guys. XAT is a very classic exam. That's the word I'll use for XAT. A very classic exam. Okay, it actually test your patience, test your question picking level, test your logic, rather than put like selecting just a people who are good at quant and LRDI, right? So even if you're very average at quant and LRDI, I've seen so many times people in CAT getting 85 percentile, 90 percentile. In XAT they end up 98 and 99 point something, right? So that's how it is, guys. So just prepare very hard for that. Okay, choose in your questions, that's very important. Cutoff is very less, even 35. I told to secure 40-45 marks, even 32 marks, you never know. 32-31 mark we also, in worst case, you can expect and get a call from Excel, right? Okay, so that's how it is. A very low scoring mark, right? That it is. And the reason being actually that the people actually feel uncomfortable, right? The students over the year feel uncomfortable while giving this ad, right? The paper is not that tough. It just that gives you that uncomfortness, right? Because it's all lengthy questions, right? Basically in quant also you see this is a big question in quant, right? 5-6 lines. So they'll say that okay, there's a circular pond here. There's a lot of water in this pond. There's a fish starting from the center. A fish swam basically northeast, and from there again she just crosses the opposite point, traveling 500 meter. Then she after touching this wall, she goes to the another part of the pond in a straight line, traveling 400 meter, right? So once you read all this, no, there's 6-7 line questions that all story, and at end you say, oh, okay, it's a 3-4-5 triangle like that. That's right. This given, find this. So that's all right. Basically, so many people just don't do it, right? They see a big question of 6 line and just leave it actually. So that is the exam which actually people find uncomfortable, right? Because in DM again lengthy sets, close options. You cross DM. In VRC again close options. RC is close option. RC is critical reasoning. So basically mind is like tired. When you come to quant, you expect some smaller questions, right? But the questions again, even if it is from geometry, known concept, right? But they like put 5 line question, 4 line, 5 line questions they'll put. Okay, and then the student bits feel a bit uncomfortable, right? That's how it is for that. So rather than being a tough exam, it's a very classic exam checking your patience level, your question picking level. Okay, because they provide you all the facility that you don't get panic, you can switch the sections and all, everything, right? Just you have to handle that time, perform your best, okay, without any restrictions. You can easily change the section and all, okay. That's why itself that we prepared for that, and it's that kind of exam you can actually change your career. Excel right, if you get, you'll never regret I am ABC in life, okay. So that's how it is, right? So okay guys, all the best. So I'm preparing a lot of questions. Basically my quant, I provided a lot of for practice for that and cat, actually cat, and same thing, quant is absolutely same in quant, that comes in cat, same is in that. So quant, we don't need to change any strategy. So I'm putting a lot of effort for bringing GK to you, okay. So GK, that you, so that you clear the cutoff in GK in that, and also decision making, okay. So these things I'm putting continuously, so just go through this. And quant, absolutely same like cat, okay. So this will make you excel through that, okay. So all the best guys, thank you.